lasagna and sausage. The same thing I always get.
You good?
I wouldn't go there if it wasn't good.
The veal probably.
So is my
That
wife.
also
She loves
sounds
it. You wouldn't go there if the lasagna wasn't good?
But if the food wasn't good,
She knows. Ready?
Now I'm hungry.
Abby? Alright, let's go ahead, Coach.
all right, heading to Missouri tomorrow. Obviously, SEC teams this week I think are 1-6 on the road. The only win being Tennessee over Vanderbilt, so it'll be a big challenge for us on the road. Big kid Tillman inside, it's really good. When he gets going for them, they're a totally different team. They can play inside out. Guy's the point guard, good player, can really shoot it. The wings, very good shooters. They lead the league in 3-point percentage, so we're going to do a good job. Guarding 3-point line, they're very tough, they're very physical, they're a typical Coach Martin team. He does a very good job. So it'll be tough sledding for us offensively. We're going to have to guard certainly better than we've guarded in the past game because the baskets are not going to come as easily for us.
You were pretty critical a couple of days ago of the defense. Have the practices been okay since then? Or?
We're working at it. So we're hopeful we'll be better.
Were you connected in practice yesterday?
What?
Were you connected again in practice?
What do you mean?
You always use that word connected.
Connectivity.
Connectivity.
Hopefully we've got some of the things solved. We tried to change a little bit, tried to tweak our scheme a little bit, change a few things to help some weak spots in our defense, and hopefully it'll show up tomorrow.
Now said you use the word connected about 100 times a day. What was Wednesday night?
Take the over.
Was Wednesday night an example of being disconnected or unconnected? Or?
No, we weren't disconnected. We just came a little bit. We just had some. We were a little bit discombobulated. We weren't ourselves. We weren't in our right minds. So we'll tweet that discombobulated.
Neil Brown used to use it.
We're a little bit out of whack. But we were able to hopefully get some of that stuff corrected yesterday with the guys and prepare better and hopefully play better tomorrow.
Yeah, I know the defense, we looked at final total, 82 points, 54%, but there were 3 stretches which added up to about 10 and a half minutes. 2 in the first half.
Yeah, I had it at 13 minutes, but yeah.
We outscored them 36-6. They were like 0 for 7 and 7 turnovers. So I mean,
We played pretty decent defense for 27 minutes. The problem is that's not going to get it done as you play really good teams in our league. So, we've yet to be able to play a complete game, which is something that we're focusing on, being able to play for a full 40 minutes. And we've got to be able to sustain our defense, sustain what we're doing for longer stretches of time.
You feel like they're on the same page with you? I mean, even after the game, Tremont said we felt to come to, even though it was a 10-point win, do you feel like they understand that's not good enough? Or you still kind of got
Well, it's not that so you guys get all focused on winning and losing. And winning is the point of what we're doing. I got that. But it's what goes into winning that I focus more on. So I'm much more worried about how we go about winning. And I don't like to cheat it when you win. Even if you win, you got to understand what goes into winning, how hard it is to prepare, how hard it is to win, any game. I mean, so I focus more on the ingredients that go into to how you make the meal. Everybody just wants the meal served and the meal to taste good and everything to go well. So I'm working at all that other stuff, and that's the stuff I want to get corrected because we didn't have the right ingredients going into the game, and it showed. Food was burnt, and so I'm focused more on all that stuff, the process that goes into what it takes to win, and then if you put the right stuff in, the win will be the output. That'll come out. But you got to have the right stuff going in the input, and so that's where my frustration was and focus was, and those guys knew that. When you don't put the right stuff, You know, when you don't put the right stuff in, you go to the gas pump and you put diesel in, you know you didn't put the right stuff in your car. Because you get a truck, it takes diesel, you know? I mean, so, like, you know that, and yeah, maybe you can drive around a few miles on it, and you hope you can get to the next station where you can change it back out or whatnot, but you know that's not a good way to go. It's not going to be good long term for you. And so that's where we are. I know I've used all sorts of meandering different things here. I've been all over the place, but you follow what I'm saying? You guys get the point?
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's called
know,
mixing metaphors.
Huh?
It's called mixing
Mixing
metaphors.
Thanks.
Don't mix gas.
You don't think they took a step back though? I mean, you think it was easy to fix yesterday or?
Nothing's easy to fix. You know, I mean, no, we got some issues we got to get fixed. Not necessarily team. I'm saying basketball wise, we got some issues that we've got to get corrected, and nothing's easy to fix. And so we went about it yesterday and today and tried to get it fixed as best we can. You know, at this point in the season, you're not necessarily fixing a lot of stuff as much as you are just kind of plugging gaps. Just kind of putting duct tape here and hoping that one holds for a little bit, and you go duct tape something else and hope that holds, and then if the duct tape rips off over here, you gotta go back and plug that one up. You know, you're just kind of plugging stuff up more than you're fixing it. But we did try to put a little bit more time in to hopefully get this stuff fixed.
Jamon said he was going to go back and watch the film, of course, and see kind of where the 0 turnovers came from, I guess, how he was able to do that. What did you see?
Well, he made simple plays, he made good plays. You know, his passing angles were very, very good. He passed it from the right angles. He was just in sync, and I thought he made great decisions.
from a program standpoint, would you like this to be the last weekend that you're not in the SEC Big 12 Challenge? I mean, I know.
Well, yeah, it means you're in the bottom 4 if you're not in it. Yeah,
Right.
we'd
So
like to
does
not
it
go back to
bother
the
you?
bottom 4.
I mean, does that bother you as a competitor that you're, 10 conference teams are playing big stage and you're, we have important conference games, but it's not the same.
I'm worried about beating Missouri. It is the same.
I know.
We got to beat Missouri. I mean, it's an SEC game. I mean, we have to beat Missouri. Now, in the sense that I do agree with what the SEC's done. It's tough to I know everybody wants to just plug teams in every year, but there's home and away balance. There's all sorts of scheduling stuff. You could end up playing a bunch of road games. There's all sorts of scheduling stuff. The SEC is going to announce something, I think, that'll help the other 4. They're going to change some stuff up. But, I mean, certainly we'd like to be playing, this weekend and that, but we weren't good enough to play in it. So we're going to play Missouri, and, Missouri's a good team, and it's a big SEC game. I don't think the teams playing in the SEC Big 12 Challenge are just going to say, oh, well, we just don't worry about the 2 SEC games that we played this weekend. We're just worried about the challenge. I mean, no, everybody, at the end of the day, tomorrow night at 11 o'clock, the standings are going to be different for 4 teams and in the SEC, and then everybody's playing it out from there.
Speaking of scheduling, do you like the time of year that it's played, or do you not really think about that?
I prefer we play a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. I know what I mean. It makes sense. It gives the SEC and the Big 12 a full day on ESPN. Gives us a full day of college basketball where people are talking. Game days at Kentucky. So you got Kentucky. It just gives us in the middle of college basketball season. It gives you a day where they're talking about your league, especially if you win.
How much of an influence do you put on shot distribution? Because it seems like you guys are scoring from kind of a lot of different places on the floor and from a lot of different players as well.
And we emphasize we want the ball to move, we want the ball to find the open guy. We work on that quite a bit. We got unselfish guys, so that helps.
Coach, you talked about the schedule a little bit. The next couple games, of course, are against teams that maybe are more winnable. How much confidence do you think this next stretch of games is before you get to the bigger games?
Well, SEC teams are 1-6 on the road this week, and the number 1 team in the country barely beat the last place team in our league in overtime. And what was also like a virtual home game now. Nashville is like I grew up there. 75% Tennessee fans. I may be going undersell it now. 75, 80%. You went to Mandy. What is it? 80-20. Tennessee to Vanderbilt fans there. I mean, so I mean, they want to. It's tough. There's no easy road game in our league, and that's what I mean. There's not an easy one in our league, and this is going to be a battle on Saturday, and then we'll have to battle up again on Wednesday at A&M, right? Tuesday or Wednesday at A&M. But we don't look at it like that. We can't. We got to worry about everything we got to prepare the right way to give ourselves a chance to play well against Missouri. That's all that matters.
In the middle of your SEC schedule like you are, how do you go about fixing those defensive issues that you were talking about?
Well, we just spend a little bit more time and practice on it than we typically do. We've had to add a couple extra we added a couple extra segments yesterday. We did a little extra segment yesterday in practice on two different areas I think we need to shore up. So we just gotta but when you do that, you're cutting from something else because we're trying to keep, we got to keep fresh legs, clear minds, so we got to keep them fresh. So you got to give and take when you do that. But we tried to add a couple segments to get a few things correct.
What did you see out of Cavell when you turned out the film? Just kind of graded things, I guess. You didn't see as many minutes ago.
Yeah, well, he got the foul early, and when he got the foul, he wasn't as aggressive. He was playing the rest of the half kind of not to pick up the second foul, and by doing that, he didn't play as well. He didn't play his game, so he knows. We went to dinner last night, so we talked him through. It was good. Now to Gino's.
Anything else?